Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be creating this TodoList app using Python and Django. This is the demo of my app. So as you can see, I can just add any to-do list by typing it in here. So I'll add just play and click on add button and this list will get added. I can also delete any of the list just by clicking on delete. Let's say I want to delete this one. So it is asking me for confirmation, so I'll just click on OK and it will get deleted. So we'll create this app in today's tutorial. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let me minimize this window and also close the terminal. So first we'll create our project folder. So let's create one in my desktop. I'll name it to Django to do. So inside this folder we will create our virtual environment. So I'll right click it and open terminal at this folder. So let's create our virtual environment first. To do so, I'll just type in Python 3-m venv and we'll name the virtual environment as venv. So I'll press return. In Windows you can just simply press enter. So as soon as I press enter or return, it will create a virtual environment inside this folder. Let me close it. Now we will activate this environment. So I'll type in source venv bin activate. In Windows, instead of bin, you will have to type in scripts. Once you have done that, just press on return. So now our virtual environment is activated. So I'll install Django now. So I'll just type in pip install Django and press return. So this will install Django inside our virtual environment. So Django has been installed successfully. Let me clear it. So now we'll create our project inside this folder. To do so, we'll just type in Django admin start project and we'll give our project a name. I will call it my to do. To create the project inside this directory, I'll just simply put a dot and then press on return. So our project has been created. Now we will open this project inside VS Code. So let me open VS Code. I'll simply drag it to the VS Code. So now let's check if our app is running or not. So I'll just type in Python manage.py run server and press return. So it is showing us warning that there are 18 unapplied migrations. So we'll do the migration later, but first let's check this out. Let me open a new tab and we'll go to the localhost and port 8000. As you can see, Django is running successfully. I'll minimize this window. I'll also minimize it. Now we'll create our first app. So let me open the terminal again. Now I'll close the server by pressing Command C or Control C in Windows. So let's create our to-do app. So I'll just type in Python manage.py start app and now we'll give our app a name. So I'll call it to do and press return. Now let's go to VS Code. As you can see, to do app has been created. Now we have to include this to do app in our settings. So I'll click on settings and here I'll just simply include this to do app. Now I'll save this. So now we are done with the settings file. Next we'll edit the urls.py file. So let's open this file. In this file we'll import the include module. So let's type in include and we will also add another path. So in this path we will give an empty string and then include another URLs file. So I will name it to todo.urls. Then I will simply save this file. So this urls.py file is done. So now we'll go and edit the models.py file. So we'll create our models here. So let's do that. So we'll name our model as TodoList. So class TodoList. This will be models.model. There will be a character field. So todo equals to models.char field, and we'll give it a max length of 100. So now we are done with our models. Now we'll create a form. So inside todo folder we'll simply create a forms.py file. So now we'll edit our forms file. First we'll import a few modules. So let's do that. From Django import forms, and we'll also import the todo model. So from models import TodoList. Now we'll create our form. So we'll call it todo form. This will be forms.model form. And the class meta will be model TodoList. Since there is only one field, we can simply define it as all. If you have so many different fields, you can include them individually. So now I'll save this file. Now we'll create our views. So let's open the views.py file. Here we'll create two views, one for homepage or inputting the to-do list item, and another for deleting any of the list. So let's go ahead. So let me define index, which will take in request. First we'll try to check if there is any to-do list item. So item list to-do list. As you can see, as soon as I type the to-do list, this model is automatically imported. So if yours is not automatically imported, you just have to type in this line. After that, we'll simply write objects and we'll order it by -id. So the recently added to-do list will be on top. Now we'll create a post method for inputting any to-do list item. So let's do that. If request.method equals to post, then form equals to to-do form, and this will take the value from request. So request dot post, and if the form is valid, so if form is valid, then we will simply save this form in our database. And lastly, we will return to our index or home page. Return a redirect, so we'll have to import the redirect. Now we can write here, so return redirect, so we'll redirect it to the index page. We'll also add a context, so context will be a list of dictionary. We'll simply call the item list as list, so list will be the item list. Now we have to render the page, so we'll do this by typing return render request, and we'll show the index.html file. This file is not created yet, but we'll create it in a moment. So, and lastly, we'll simply add the context. So our first view is done. Now we'll create the second view for deleting any item from the list. So let's define it. This will also take an ID, so we'll delete a list by its ID. So first we have to get the list. So to do will be, we'll import another package. So let's get object of 404. So now we'll import a to-do list from its ID. So ID equals to ID, and then we'll simply delete it. So to-do dot delete. After deleting, we'll simply return it to the home page. So return redirect to the index view. So that's it. Now our views file has been done. Now we'll create the index.html file. To do so, first we'll create a templates folder inside to-do app. So let's create the folder templates, and inside this folder we'll create index.html file. Let's write something, for example hello to do, and now I'll save it. Now we'll also have to create the URLs file we mentioned here, so we'll do so in our to do app. So let's do that. So inside this URLs file we'll add two paths. So let's do this by copying this, and I'll simply paste it. So here in the URL patterns, first we'll add First we'll add our index page. So an empty string, this will be views. We have to import the views first, so we'll do so by import views. Now we can simply use our views. So first page will be views.index. We can also give it a name, so the name will be index, and we'll add another path. So this will be delete, so this will be delete, and this will take an integer which is the to-do list item ID. And this will go to the delete view. So delete, and we'll give it a name as well. So the name will be delete. So now we are done with the URLs file also. So let's check if our app is working or not. First we'll have to make the migration. So I'll do Python manage.py make migrations. So there is an error, there is some form share import. I guess we imported it which is not required. So let's remove it. As you can see, VS Code has imported them automatically, but we don't really need this for our project, so I'll just remove them and save it. And now let me clear it first. And now migration should work. We'll also have to migrate it, so we'll type in Python manage.py migrate and press return. So our migration is done. Now we'll run the server. So let's check this out. As you can see, hello to do has been shown here. So our app is running perfectly. Now all we have to do is to edit our index.html file. So let's go back to VS Code and open the index.html. Now what I will do is, I have already written this index.html file. So I'll go to my GitHub page. I will put this link in the description, so you can also get this file. And then inside to do and templates, I'll simply copy this code. So let me copy it, and I will simply paste it in VS Code. As you can see, this is simple HTML code with some bootstrap. So here we'll be focusing on the form action. So it will redirect it to the index page. So inside curly braces and percentage, we'll simply write down the URL to the index page. And also make sure you have included the CSRF token. So this is the input field for our to-do list item. And lastly, we'll go through the to-do list items and display them individually in our index page. So we created a for loop, and inside this for loop we just show the to-do list items. Make sure to close the for loop also. So once you have done that, just simply save this file and let's check it out. So let me refresh it. As you can see, our to-do list app is working. So let's add a few to-do list. For example, eat, dance. As you can see, everything is working perfectly. We can add anything we want, and we can also delete any of the list. So if we click on OK, the list will get deleted. Let's add another one. So this is a simple tutorial on how to create a to-do list app using Python and Django. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.